I just wanted to take a minute and express gratitude. I am obviously going through a lot, processing a lot. A lot of that has been triggered by the fact that for the first time in my life, I have somebody providing me the safety to fall apart and still receive love. And I am eternally grateful for that. I braced yesterday for consequence and punishment because that would have been my normal. It's a dog thing. Our dogs disagreed. So I braced for the consequence and punishment that would have been normal, for the fight, for the argument, for the conflict. And instead I got a hug and love. And we'll figure it out together. So I just want to say thank you. And I want to express my gratitude for that. And I also want to talk about, like we know that our nervous systems keep the score. And I am a 46-year-old woman who is just now finding safety, just now finding out what safety in a relationship feels like. And my body went kaboosh. Here, have some grief, have some pain, have some things that are unresolved that you still need to work on, right? And that's okay. I have learned the skills to move through this with grace and dignity and love for myself. So I'm not running from, nor am I afraid of the tears or the pain. I use them as data points, right? Like this is me. This needs love. This is here because it wasn't loved. But it is very difficult to feel like you're functioning. And I have like a perfect storm of things going on, right? Like I have taken my life by the horns and eliminated everything that was holding me back, causing me harm. And so there's a lot of fear, right? So there's the relationship disconnect, which leaves relational insecurity. I left out into the world on my own, which leaves financial, structural insecurity in your life. I'm perimenopausal, and I quit the substances that I was using for my emotional management, right? My emotional regulation support, right? Like not doing it for me, but helping me. It's what we use it for. But all of that going on right now. So such a beautiful, sacred work. But it is a lot. It is a lot. So I'm trying to get settled and established. I'm trying to maintain momentum in my life while also allowing my body the peace and space that it needs to recover and heal through this. To give myself the love that I need. Man, is it a delicate balancing act, like dealing with shame and guilt and having to unravel what is yours and what was given to you is really, really hard. And then having to look at your own behavior, because I don't give a shit about other people's behavior. I use everything to inform me about what I have done. What choice did I make to get me here? What behaviors did I use to get me here? What behaviors don't I support in myself anymore? Because if I don't support the behavior of somebody else, that's easy. I walk away. I quit the engagement. until that is changed or corrected or grows, I don't re-engage. Those are easy, but dealing with the behavior within myself where I have been living in autopilot and causing this damage, if this had been in the past, I would have waited because I've been trained to take the consequence, right? So I would have waited for the consequence, whether it was just or not, and then I would have run in tears immediately and been gone and run. I was ready to do that. And that is my trauma. And I have to look at that and go, holy shit, you were just ready at the drop of a hat. First sign of threat, you got ready. And I am so grateful for this time to be able to see that, because when I've been in trauma recovery for 20 years. In most areas, I feel pretty stable handling and managing myself. Even in this, I feel stable handling myself. I know that I am unraveling, and I know how to keep my scaffolding up around myself so that I do not go back to patterns and behaviors that did a lot of damage in my life, right? Granted, a lot of the times leaps of faith towards yourself do look like high risk situations. There's a difference in whether there is the opportunity to grow or whether you are running, hiding, and numbing. And I'm definitely not running, hiding, and numbing anymore. Out in the world, feeling at full steam, full bore. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I just know I needed to come on and kind of express what I was experiencing, because that's what this is. This is a trauma release. I am in a situation where these unspoken voices inside me finally have a chance to raise their hand and say, hey, we're still here. We haven't been seen yet. We need some love. And I am so grateful to be in a place where I can do that, and I can go through this, and I can go through this safely. And this is the first time in my life I am successfully facing these things. I have tried to quit smoking so many times in my life, and here in an environment where I do actually feel safe. And that's how I know I actually feel safe here, because I just quit. I had one relapse, and the behavior that follows my normal relapses in the smoking usually get me back smoking again. No, I had one, and that was done. I didn't continue the behaviors that continue after that would have kept the habit in my life, right? That's how I know I'm somewhere really safe. That's how I know it's real. I love how that's in every video. I love how I forget my speaker for every video. Like, that's, oh my gosh, so funny to me. But that's how I know that this is real and that the safety is real, is because my efforts to grow are taking root and aren't being undermined even by myself. I don't even know how to process that. Like, who is this person? I am my future self right now, because the future me that is living the life that I want to live wouldn't be doing these things, right? And so I am living that now, and that's such a great feeling. But it's so fucking hard. Today I feel better than I have the last 2 days. Yesterday was rough. I'm enjoying the tears. I was the kid that, I learned when I was young that crying made things worse. So I learned not to cry. Like, I used to get comments from people and told, that's why I was the strong one, was because nothing would get to me, right? Nothing could make me cry. Nothing could knock me off my feet. They still won't, but now I'll cry. But I'll still stay on my feet. I know how to get up, and that's the beauty of my trauma. Is my trauma left me with the decision of I was never going to let anybody else knock me off my feet, right? That's why I am the only one that can knock me off my feet. And I am so proud of myself for not knocking myself off my own feet, for being in a place where instead of going into the pity pot, instead of going into the self-destruction and the self-destructive behaviors, the picking up the bad habits, the things that keep me apart, instead I am maintaining my commitment to myself, to the things that are helping me grow, that are going to take me to the life I want, which will lead to better connections, more fulfillment. But it is rough. And so for those of you who are out there also going through this last unraveling before the eclipse welcomes in the year of the fire horse, right there with you. And those tears are sacred. Those tears are sacred. Now I've got Toto playing in my head, God bless the rains down in Africa. No, God bless the rains because God bless the tears, right? Our tears are sacred. They are love. They are signs that we are love, have love, contain love, overflow with love, right? Tears are love overflowing. Joy and grief walk hand in hand. They are twins. You can't have one without the other. And you can carry both at the same time. You are going through this and you want to learn what I do to stay in body, to be with my body as my body is experiencing not only withdrawal, but the emotional decompression that is going through. If you want to learn the tools that I use to get myself through this, keep my head on my shoulders, my head and heart aligned. I have a school platform that I have built, a community that I am building and growing, where we learn these things and we practice these things. Included is the Phoenix Gate, where we walk through our hard truths. All of this is somatic awareness, right? Learning how to recognize what is going on around us and to drop down into our bodies and learn how to interpret the information that our technology is telling us, right? Because the body is the interface. It is the technology that reads, senses, and informs us. It's the data collection point. If you don't know how to talk to it, how do you know what anything is saying to you? So anyway, the information for that is in the description on my channel page on YouTube. I think that's all I've got. I love you all. And if you are going through this too, we're almost there. We're doing the hard work. This is the hard work. They describe the shedding like the shedding of a snake. And you imagine the snake's skin's coming off, and snake skin seems to, I'm not going to assume I know what it feels like to a snake, but it seems to come off smoothly. Some of us are feeling like we're amputating the limbs, right? Like we weren't a snake, but we're becoming a snake because we've cut off some limbs, right? That's a little different than just shedding the skin. If you are cutting off limbs, tearing down what you believed was scaffolding and holding up your entire life or foundation or whatever, if you feel like you're tearing off things that used to hold you up, I'm with you. I see you, I hear you, I feel you. You're not alone. Feel free to reach out. I'm here. I love you.